following announcement has been paid for by the Celtic World Order.
Hello there, welcome back to Celtic World Order. As always, I'm Steve O'Matt, and as you can see at the side there, I'm joined by my bearded brother, Paddy Boy. And thanks for joining us back here on the channel for another wee special video, as today we have another bona fide Celtic legend, one of Celtic's biggest characters over the years. We're going to be joined by none other than Frankie McAvennie. We're going to go through everything that Celtic means to him and a couple other stories. As we all know, he's a man that likes a quip, he's a man that likes a joke, and I'm sure he'll make us laugh with some of his patter, as it were. But just want to say thanks for supporting the channel. As always, make sure you've liked, subscribed, hit that notification, and that way you'll keep up to date for more content like this. And of course, our standard live streams. Get us on X at CW Pod 1888. We're also on Spotify, and we're also on TikTok. So without further ado, we'll bring in our guest. Of course, it is Mr. Frankie McAvennie. Frankie Boy Macca.
Morning,
welcome
guys.
to the Celtic World Order. How are you doing? And thanks for taking the time at your morning.
Nah, no problem. Not a problem. It was a pleasure when Paddy asked me. He didn't ask me. He told me I was coming on.
Told you were coming on, Frankie. Let's be honest. Says, listen, we've got our 100th episode coming up,
Yes.
and we need a centenary icon to come on here and give us a wee chat. So, listen, Frankie, again,
Absolute pleasure.
Yeah. Well, that's that. Paddy just told me this. Apparently this is Celtic World Order's 100th video on the channel, and as he says, it's a centenary for us, and who better to have on than someone that's synonymous as a centenary Celt, yourself there, Macca. Listen, let's just fire straight in. We'll start on hot. You know, you've done enough of these.
I need to ask first. I need to ask first before we go any further. Peter Grant was on. Is everyone still sleeping?
Peter, some guy. He's
brilliant.
He's good value for money. Good for. A bit like yourself, actually. I'd say a bit of character, isn't he?
Aye, he's good fun. Grant, he's good. We used to have some good laughs. He was one of the characters in the dressing room, so it was good.
Aye.
When he was in there with you as well, I mean, Granty would have been quite young, wouldn't he? At that age.
Aye,
when he was in there.
He wasn't married and that, so he was all right. He was still hanging about with the boys. It was good. We had a good team. I don't know how old Grant would be, but he was one of them. He was a great foil in the midfield for Paul, to let Paul go and do his stuff, you know, and Granny would just try and take people out. They'd be a silent assassin.
I heard that one as well, when it about the... There you go, Steve.
Oh, no, so we learned a wee bit about him. Actually, you're saying about taking folk out. I think that's what everybody says about Granny, but actually
he was a good player.
He was a bit of a striker, actually, he was telling us before he became what we now know him as, eh? Or is that
everybody wants to be a striker. It's because they get the headlines. Granny's getting no chance. He's not quick enough to be a striker, that's for sure. He's a good midfield player, and he's good at what he does. He was absolutely great. You can't do without people. I think you can't do without people. I think it's something that we could do with at the moment. Somebody that sits in there and put their foot in and stop the play, and you know, we've not had this since Bruni left. We've not replaced Bruni. Neil Lennon was before that. You know, somebody just sits in there and controls the game.
Like you said, puts the boot in. Somebody
somebody can stop the game if you know, takes one for the boys, and you know, and take a booking and stop the game and let people get back, all that kind of stuff, you know. We could have done one against Dortmund.
The lesser said about that, the better.
I know.
I'm sure we're all hurting. Do you know what? And that's the thing. We're all sitting there as fans. We're talking about these results, and it hurts you. And that's where we want to start off here. Like, normally folk would say, "Oh, you know, growing up here and this and that." I just want to ask you in general, because one thing that we know, look, you're an ex-player, you're an icon. I'm sure you'll agree with that. Not just ourselves, massive down at West Ham. But first and foremost, obviously, as a Milton boy and a Glasgow boy, you are a Celtic fan, born into that as Hingway. So, you know, you probably get asked this often, but I just want to know, see to Frankie McAvennie, what does being a Celtic sport? Forget when we'll get on to you get into Celtic, but just what does it mean to you as being a Celtic supporter? And you know, how important is that to you with your life and your upbringing, your
everything,
your family?
It was everything to me. I used to go every week with my dad, you know, took us, and it was great. It It was superb going there, getting lifted over the turnstiles and all that. In the days, it was brilliant. Typical. I've never seen. When I played, the stadium was full, and the old board says it was 30,000 or something. I was like, you couldn't make it up. But it was just me going, and my dad let me. We used to go to Celtic, and my dad used to let me go down to the jungle when we were getting older, and as long as I was back 15 minutes before the end and all that kind of stuff. It's part of life growing up. Walking, parking the car and walking across the graveyard and all that to get to the ground. It's just unbelievable memories. And then it's what it means to me. Remember when the boy McCann signed?
Aye.
The look in his face, that was me.
Aye.
That just total joy in his face, when he signed, because I got asked to go to Rangers before that, so that was a wee bit I couldn't do it, To be fair, Graham was quite funny, and I said to him about the priest. I was telling him about the priest. So my dad goes to games with priests. He says, they'll be all right if they take the collars off.
we see with that. You just you brought that in nice and hot at the front end. Mm-hmm. It's true, we just say being a Celtic fan means everything. And you reflect on McCann and literally living that boyhood dream and that sense of awe, and you saw it, and the way he speaks, dead down to earth. He is very much a local lad, isn't he? When you hear him talking the jokes about, I can't go into McDonald's and stuff my equipment on it anymore. It's good. I like that. It's a wee bit missing, but obviously that was more in sort of, I guess, your era. That kind of laddish, local lad attitude would have been there. But see what you're saying about your approach to go to Rangers, and obviously you couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. You could have been the prototype, Mo Johnson, because you would have been the first.
It wouldn't have been as bad for me because I wasn't at Celtic at the time. I was at West Ham when they approached, so it wouldn't have been as bad. But Graham wanted me, Charlie Nicholas, and Mo Johnson. It had to be one of us because we were high-profile Roman Catholics, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he wanted to break that divide, and I understood what he wanted to do. But I told him it's never going to happen.
Was it? See for you, was it just quite as simple as?
Just being
a fan, or was there anything to do with the worry about the religious side? No, because obviously Mo done it.
Well, the point is, I'm big enough and ugly enough. I can take anything that comes to me. I've done it for years, but I knew it would bring my family into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I'm going to be honest. If I went to Rangers, I'm sure they would have paid me. It would have been different. But listen, it was just I like Rangers coming second. I like them coming second, and I know people don't like them and think they should be out the game, but I just think for Scottish football we need them, but we need them to finish second all the time. That's what and runner up in the cups. I don't mind that, because then you're still getting the money for Sky. Because if they go out the game again, Sky will still get money. Players will not come.
This year we've got a chance to Aberdeen finish it.
Aye, I know that's great, isn't it? But at least they are still there. I feel sorry for some of the supporters. Because I take that nearly happened to us. Remember back in the day I was there.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the supporters, and they were absolutely gutted. They were heartbroken. I'm thinking, these guys are paying. Some of them are idiots, but you get that everywhere. But these guys with Rangers, some of them, they go to the game, they pay money, and these idiots are not looking after. The custodians of the club are not looking after it for them. And I think, you're supporting us. Like we all support Celtic. Imagine if that happened now with us. You'd be devastated, So I think something's going to be done with the murder, but it's not going to be. It's not going to be a quick fix. So Celtic's going to be, it's going to cost them money to take all these signs down to 55, best club in the world now. But you've got to say that you've got to give them credit where it's due. 55 titles in 12 years is not bad,
If we can paint it all green and white, we'll take it off their hands, because we're going to become the most successful club in the world, aren't we? So let's face it.
That's I guess you say, Frankie. It's funny, and we can make light. Of course we can.
I know.
It's so funny. It's two different worlds. I always feel like Celtic are we go about our business without fans.
I was there when, you guys don't remember, I was there when we were going to move to Cambuslang or something. They were going to move, they wanted to move the stadium, the old board, and the Kellys and the Whites. I was like, what? You couldn't do that, it was just horrible. It was a horrible situation, a horrible time to be about. the club, you know, and a lot of youngsters now don't realise how close we were.
No, definitely.
You know, it was very. The wee Bunnock come in, and everyone's got their own opinion about him. But he come in, and it was like he done what he says in the tin, didn't he? You know, I'm going to come in for 5 years and then get back to, and I'm like, brilliant. That's what he did.
Aye, he came in with his money. He took his money back.
Came in, took a chance, you know, and the first thing he done was get rid of the leeches, which was great.
Aye. No, I mean that's
saying, isn't it? The game is over. The rebels have won, and it's
that's it. Yeah, you know,
brilliant.
I'll never forget it. As I say, I was there at that time, and it was horrible because they were wanting to move us to, was it Cambuslang or Rutherglen or something?
Yeah,
something stupid, you know. And you can't move away from Celtic Park.
No.
You know, it was no the right thing, and well, it's been proven. Look what's happened now. We're one of the best clubs in the world now. It's great.
We'll be the most successful club in the world, though.
Yes, that'd be nice.
I'm sure that'll come round, but nah, you know,
we won't say much about it, but will we?
No, you know, and that's the thing. But we will when it happens. When we overtake that, you know, there'll be folk that'll throw it there for a laugh, but the club itself, I think, will just go about its business. It's funny because the less significant you come, the more focus you put on numbers in the past, innit?
I know.
We're moving forward, but no, you know. You mentioned a few things, obviously, there about sort of just early being a fan and going with your old man and stuff like that, and then about the troubles of the club. But as I say, it's kind of double-hatted for yourself as a fan, and obviously your time as a player. You know, you've got these experiences, and you've got your sort of your emotions are running wild. See if bringing it back to the fan perspective side of things. Obviously, you've seen a lot growing up, a lot of good periods. Your fond memories as a player. But see between sort of you growing up and being an early fan, and even and as now, if I was to ask you and say, look, Frankie, what's your two fondest Celtic memories as a supporter, whether it's past or present? I'm taking Seville off the table, by the way. Seville's off the table.
Right, I'll tell you what. It's been many a year since I was as proud as what I was last week.
Yeah,
you know, watching that was you know, and I was laughing. I was going, Hitati. I thought Hitati was brilliant, and I'm going, he was just outstanding. And then people say to me, I bet he could have got caught out with that when he megged the boy in the midfield. And I'm saying, but that's the difference between great players and good players. Great players can do that. You know, and it was I just thought that, I mean, I'm picking out Hitati, I like Hitati, but the whole team was just outstanding. You know, Kuhn, I mean, where's he come from? You know,
I know.
It's he's like, and that's the thing with Brendan. That's what he's got. You know, that's what Brendan does. He's I would love to have played under Brendan. He's one of these coaches that's going to make you better. Yeah. You know, he's one of these guys that, you know, he knows when to put his arm around you and he knows when to get a kick up the backside. Mm-hmm. And you know, and it's one of them. It is what it is. I just think we've got to get him back. I was delighted. You know, that was my biggest. But my first memory of Celtic was, you know, when we won the trophy, the big trophy, and I was only a boy, and my dad. I think everybody was on the pitch. My dad said, "That's your uncle." I've never had so many uncles. You know, everyone that ran across with a kilt one. That's your uncle. Really. and then he took me to when they brought the trophy back. When they brought the trophy back to Celtic Park, you know, with a big lorry and all that. And
I want to see that on the coal truck, wasn't it?
The coal truck, brilliant. I mean, I know, and it was only when I signed for Celtic that I found out what it was all about, you know. And it was Bobby Lennox. He knew somebody that knew somebody's cousin that was a coal man, and that's fucking. I mean, you couldn't fucking make it up.
You wouldn't get on the back of a coal truck now, would you? Utter woke nonsense.
Right. Imagine, some of the boys wouldn't even train in the pitches we played in. They would go, I'm not training that. You know, that's how far they've moved on. But it was great just to see that lorry, you know, coming round the park. It didn't matter. It was great memories.
That's a brilliant story, isn't it? They chuck that out the now. Imagine them going to Celtic Park Health and Safety. I went back in a coal truck. You're right.
It backfired, and 3 boys with Pozo fucking fired back. It was, but that was my memory. You know, going to the Celtic end with my dad, and it was great. And nowadays everyone played on the same day. We all played Saturdays. You never, very seldom. did you play later on a Saturday, sometimes Saturday morning? It was always Saturdays, 3 o'clock.
Aye.
And it was great, you know, and Saturday and Wednesday, it was none of this nonsense that goes on now, you know, Monday night at 8:30 and all that. What?
I want to kind of jump in,
5
Frankie.
on a Sunday.
I know, 5:30 on a Sunday, my
I want
God.
to kind of jump in here as well, mate. You spoke about obviously the game against Leipzig there and the impact that Hatate had. I'm on here every single week, mate.
You started them, by the way.
I love the guy. I think he's
Aye.
incredible. I think he's an absolutely outstanding player. He offers so much. He always goes for the risky pass. You'll never get a simple pass for the guy. He always goes for the fucking impact one. And I absolutely love that. And it's nice to see somebody, obviously, with a footballing eye like myself, to see that. We joked about Kuhn as well. Aye. We joked about Kuhn as well in the game that he had, and Stevo had said he's getting dragged away for a piss test after this. And do you know what? 100% he would have, because he was outstanding that night as well. He was just brilliant. And he's one that you had said as well, Brendan, trains these players up and gets the best out of these players. And you can see he's done that with Nicholas. For you, who was the kind of best manager for you that kind of come in and done that, like the best kind of man manager, essentially?
Well, but I had 2 great managers. John Lyell was way ahead of his time. See all this stuff that they're doing now? All this high press, we'd done it in the 80s. I mean, it just wasn't called nothing. Yeah. You know, it was when I went, I was a striker. When I went, everybody followed. They don't let anybody out. You don't let anybody have an easy pass. And that's how because we had a good team, we won the ball in their half. You know, we won the ball in their half, and we can keep it. So that's why we won most games. And then I came to Celtic, and it was brilliant. I mean, just walking into Celtic for a boy, you're walking in, and the manager is Billy McNeil, who lifted the big trophy. We coaches were the all-time greatest goal scorers, Bobby Lennox. He's my coach, you know. Bertie's walking about, Jimmy's walking about. Jimmy came up to me and gave me a cuddle, you know, before my first game against Hibs, you know, and just came out his way to just come and see me, you know, and just wish me all the best. And I was like, that, fucking hell, you know, this is what Celtic's all about, you know, and I don't think you can get enough of that. I think it's passing. We're losing that now. You know, it's. I think there's players at Celtic that, no disrespect to some of the boys that are walking about Celtic, the ambassadors, and that people don't know them. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a lot of people, you know, and they should be just going to the games. They should just be inviting them to the games. Yeah, you know, I don't get a ticket on it, Parkhead. I'm going to buy a ticket. I don't get a ticket. None. Any boys get the tickets, you know. I walk into St Mirren. Yeah. And if I walk into West Ham, I get paid for it. They pay me to go do that.
Sorry. Take that.
Aye, so it's one of them. As soon as I'm there, they go, will you do a couple of boxes for us? And I just walk in, and it's great. Mm-hmm. But Celtic's a bit different. See, I listen, it's a business, I can understand, but I thought, you know, there should be something. You know, Tommy Boyd's over there and all that, and there's great boys there, but some of the boys don't move, you know, that the older boy, Tommy Callaghan, God rest him, you know, he was going about, but they couldn't walk about the stadium. You know, a lot of them couldn't get about. And I think you need people that can get about the stadium, people that the supporters all can identify themselves with, you know, and I think that for a football, not just Celtic, but basically, sir, but for every club, you know, I think to get your history, walking about and talking to them, and it's just, I mean, if it's just like me walking about and people talking to me, you know, it's great.
Across the city, they had a thing as well, didn't they? They had Bomber Brown doing the stadium tours. And I thought that was quite good. I thought, do you know what? I'd love to go to a stadium tour with somebody like yourself or maybe Danny
we done that at West Ham. I done that at West Ham. I keep getting invited down for a weekend, day 4. So they keep asking me to go down, which is great. It's good fun because you can go in. I mean, I was in the dressing room and David Moyes was the manager, and they were getting the dressing room saying, what's your memory of the dressing room? It's all changed, obviously, different stadium. But I'm saying, and they were saying, this is the smart TV, and I'm saying, well, it's obviously no David Moyes in because he's not very smart or that kind of stuff. And the punters are all loving it because David's got a good sense of humour, so you know. But it's all good. It's all good. But the punters love that walking about with people. Yeah, you know, West Ham do it all the time, and it's a great idea. You know, it's a really good idea because
it's became a wee bit of sort of the identity, and I think like. You're talking about guys being in and around. I see on that, obviously you're quite positive on it, but look, come back to the sort of club and talking about where we are, and you're saying about Brendan being a good manager, being developmental, right? He's a fantastic elite level coach. There's no doubt about that. A great, fantastic to have him back. And I think when it came to replacing Postecoglou, that it was the no-brainer choice. One thing that's always come up among the fan, I just want to know what your take on it is. As a fan, you know, first and foremost, there's been a lot of sort of talk around about this idea that at the club there's a wee bit of jobs for the boys, or there's nepotism, and when we're trying to develop in terms of, you know, whether it's our youth system or you know, guys on the bench that are assistants and stuff, we should be looking to be quote unquote a wee bit more class leading and going out there and getting the best of the best that's out there that's not attached to the club. But some people feel that when we go and we appoint ex-players and stuff, that it's a wee bit lazy. Do you think there's a balance to be struck there where you get that?
I think John Kennedy come in, he was, you know, he got, I hope John doesn't mind it, but I mean, he was injured and he got a job because of it, but then he's turned into be one of the best coaches. He's turned into a hell of a coach, and that's no, you know, he's stuck through all that, and he's had some hell of a coaches in that's taught him. So and fair play to John, he's not wanted to move. He's not getting ambition to go because he got offered the Hibs job and didn't want to go. He's just wanted to be a coach at Celtic, which is, I think,
admirable, isn't it?
I think so. But the thing is, he's come in and he's improved. John's improved so much, whereas there's some people at the club that just, you know, it's not done anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at it. I'm going to be honest with you, boys. I look at this fucking sports science and all that. Somebody come in and told me that I'm not playing today because I might get injured. They'd get fucking flung in the bath. You know, not a chance would that happen. You know, I don't know any player that would have let somebody tell me that.
New Year nonsense for you.
I would have locked him in the room. I'd say, piss off and put him in the room. It just wouldn't have happened. You know, so it's one of the fucking, you can't play. You can't walking across the road, you know.
Exactly.
You know, in through your life, I might get injured. I don't know anyone when I played that was totally 100% fit when we played. You know, people were getting painkiller injections or strappings or something because you just wanted to play. You didn't want to. You know, and if you didn't produce them, a gaffer took you off. Don't worry about it. You know, you couldn't hide.
Yeah.
But once you run a part, these wee niggles don't bother you. And I can't be bothered with people that say, "Oh, I'm out for a couple of weeks because I've got a wee strain." Bollocks to that. You know, I want to play every week. You know, this rotation. We never go rotation in our day. It was called being dropped. If you were dropped, now they're calling it rotation, and you're fucking dropped. That's what it is. It's basically, but the thing is that all these games now, I mean, I'm fed up with people saying there's too many games. We're not even at Christmas yet.
I know.
You know,
the thing is, Peter spoke about this as well. Peter spoke about that, John.
I know.
See the substitutes thing. You had 3 substitutes, I think it was, wasn't it, back in the day? Nowadays, it's 5 or 6. So Peter spoke about that, and he said, like, you always had to fight for your place, because if you weren't in that place, somebody else was in it, and then if somebody else was better than you didn't just get drafted. You were at the fucking door.
You didn't get back, you know. You did. Well, Peter had to fight for his place, but I didn't. No, I couldn't. That was good. I'm Andy Walker, Mark McGee. It worked well because Mark was coming to end his career, so he was coming on making that. He was an impact player. You know, and it was always put Andy get took off. You know?
Some of the names that team you came into, you know, Bonner, Aitken, White, McCarthy, Burns, McStay.
Well, I played 4 years in midfield for St Mirren against Celtic. Fucking when I played 5 years at St Mirren, 5 seasons. 4 of them was in midfield, and I played up against Tommy and all that. Fuck, you know, Tommy was just fucking. He took the piss out of me one time. He's saying to me one of the last games last season. That was it. St Mirren, he's going Celtic are looking at you, and I'm going, what? He's going Celtic are looking at you. Going up, fucking scoring. He's telling me going up and running away. And Pack, he's getting one fling out of Tommy, and he's running out the park and fucking scoring or whatever. And I'm like, you're fucking. He's laughing. I'm like wee boy. You know, I'm saying, aye, really, Tommy, really.
Oh man, so it's quite to wind back to something you say, because it's interesting. And you says when you came in with McNeil, You see all these guys, all these icons are cutting about. You mentioned, obviously, one of the best characters is Celtic. Right, if I dare say so, yourself is one, but then Bertie Auld, right? You mentioned Bertie, right? I want to come back to something, because obviously you've crossed paths many times. Is it true he told you would have never made that?
Never make it. So told me I'll never make it in professional football.
So how was that? Winding it down the line. Was that a wee bit of banter? Did you?
No, I went and trial at Thistle. He was the manager at Thistle.
I know. I'm saying when you caught up with him later life.
Oh
when
God! Fucking tortured them.
How'd that work out for you?
He's brilliant. Bertie loves to hold court and all that, didn't he? It's just he was one of the greats, and I'm saying what a good judge of a play you are and all that. And I kept giving him. And then all of a sudden I walked in one day and he's got an audience and he's seen me coming, and I walked up and he says, "I'll give you an example." He says, "Look at this player. What player he was. We had such a good team at Partick Thistle, I couldn't give him a game."
Just listen, how bad was that? How bad was that Partick Thistle cameo if he was saying that? Was it that bad?
No, I wasn't. I'd done well, but I was sitting in the bath. He took me off a game, and I was sitting in the bath. And he came in and says, "You're not good enough." I was. To be fair, I was fucking. That's one best of match. I was skinny as fuck, and he said to me, "You'll never make it." I says, "Really?" And I says to him, sitting in the bath, I says, "I'm better than your fucking team." That was my exact words. And he went, "Really?" And he talked to me. He tried to go junior, and I just put my head under the water. I never listened to him. And that was the moment I decided I was going to be a footballer. Because I didn't want it, but I didn't know I was going to be a footballer. I didn't know that I was, because I used to go and watch Celtic every week.
I suppose as well, but there's got to be a wee bit of sort of a gut punch with one of your heroes saying something like that to you. But at the same time, at the same time, but right, I'm fired up now.
Something makes you go and prove something. That was my hero. It made me. Bertie was brutal to tell you things. He didn't hold anything back. He never sugarcoated anything. So, which is good. But for many years after it, it was great for me to get one over him.
I think they call it, innit?
Bertie's when I signed for St Mirren. I mean, that was me. And I think I've scored against Thistle every time I played against them. So that was no bad.
To work it out.
I like that.
No, I guess you said that, obviously the Thistle trial, but as you said, 5 seasons to St Mirren, and then I thought, for there to go down to West Ham, right? I think talk about football, he says about that the sort of era now versus then. I think that just sums up as well at that sort of time of football that if you were good enough, didn't matter where you were playing, there was opportunity, wasn't there? Because let's think about it now. What's the chances now of somebody facing Mirren going and being a mainstay and going on to become one of the very popular icons, cult heroes, a team like West Ham?
Well, one of the things that I knew I'd done, there was a couple of offers come in to go down to England before that, and an offer somewhere else, but I wasn't ready. And I said, I don't want to see that the boys now are going down there and sitting on the bench. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. When I get down there, I'm walking into a team. That was my attitude. And I played my final year at St Mirren up front. And I said to the manager, I want to play up front. And he's going, "You're a midfield player." I said, "Yeah, I know, but I want to play up front." And he said, "Why?" I said, "Because fucking Frank McAvennie, my pal, God rest him." I says, "He's been shit. He won't do anything, and he'll score a goal and get all the headlines. I want the headlines." And the manager started laughing. He says, "Right, okay, put me up front with Frank McAvennie." And that's my last season. And I scored a lot of goals, and then I went down there, and they were playing me in behind the 2 strikers at West Ham. John.
You put 350 grand or something, for down to West Ham.
That was a lot of money at the time.
Aye.
It was a lot of money for St Mirren. Fucking hell. So, it was one of them. I went down there in the first game of the season. He got injured. Paul Goddard got injured. And the first home game was on the Tuesday night at West Ham. And I played up front with TC, Tony Cotty, and
legend.
Scored 2. And we beat him 3-1. And I if you remember my game, I didn't mind knocking defenders about, people a lot. The biggest thing was I wanted to play against the best players. And the best players were in England.
Aye.
You know, I went down to England, I went down to West Ham for £100 more than what I was on at St Mirren.
Oh, wow.
Wasn't about the money, and people keep saying to me outside, it wasn't about the money. I wanted to play against the best, and I knew myself that, you know, give me a couple of months, I had fucking 5 rises before Christmas. You know, it was, so I was scoring all these goals, getting rises, and then all of a sudden I get in the international team, and then I get an rise. So I knew it would come if I did the business.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, you know, I had confidence in myself. And a lot of people could do now and sit on the bench and all that kind of stuff. Down south. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, that's by a throat infection, so apologies. Aye.
That's all right.
Class, man. Said, go.
So that's what I done. I went down there and I enjoyed myself, but I went down there. I didn't go down there for the money. It wasn't the money. It was I went down there and I knew I was going into the team. But it was funny because I went down there and
to prove yourself.
I went down to prove myself, but I went down there on the first day's training, pre-season training. I couldn't believe it. I thought they were taking the piss. They got a ball out, you know. And I'm going, Scotland, you don't see a ball for fucking 2 weeks, you know. And
so all hard running and hard yards.
Oh, hard. You know, you did a hard shift. But I said to John, I was looking at me and he said, "What's the matter?" And I said, "We don't see a ball for a couple of weeks." And he said something I'll never forget. He says, "That's the tools of your trade." And I'm like, fucking how right. And you can't believe just 5 weeks holiday and you forget how much your touch goes, you know, and so you've got to get that back. You've got to get that back. And it doesn't take long, but you know, you've got to work on it. He says, "Don't worry, you're running this afternoon." So we still get the run, which I was hoping we wouldn't get, but it was different. And then come up with Billy, and Billy was just different with me. Me and Billy, it was like a father and son relationship. It was, he used to find me all the time, and then give it back. He scored against Rangers or scored against Aberdeen or something. He was proud.
I think
he used to bribe me.
You came up and signed. You know, obviously you've touched it. That's like you've had a good bulk. Normally, as again, we're looking at these sort of at that era, and guys coming into the Celtic team. Obviously, we'd sign guys, but there was a lot of guys that were coming through the youth system or whatever, you know, looking at Granty, for example, coming for a youth, getting developed into the squad coming in. But you came in as a Celtic supporter, as a Scottish guy with a good bit of background, you know, a solid ground in it. I think you'd put 50 goals thereabouts at St Mirren over 5 seasons, down to West Ham. I think you were, you'd scored in roughly, if you do it ratio, about 30-year games.
8 goals my first season.
Aye, 85 appearances there, and then you come back up to Scotland for Celtic for Billy McNeil. What was that, about 750, 800 grand or something at the time? Record on it? Aye. And you come in for the centenary season. Obviously, we mentioned there was that steer by you soonest want you go to the dark side and turn away for good solid Celtic supporting reasons. But
I know.
You bring yourself into there, and at the time, obviously that sort of centenary year, just to get that sort of feel. We mentioned some of the guys, and obviously it was yourself, Walker, Miller, sort of, I guess, the original three amigos.
I don't know why, but everywhere I go, they tend to bring a winger in. You know, and I'm not the biggest in the world, but I could jump. I
thought the way you played was good, because I always think you had really good spatial awareness, great finish, instinctive, but there was a good foil. Having Miller and Walker along, it's quite a dynamic trio, I think.
Joe came in, he's like, "I'm not a winger." He was a winger, he was brilliant at it and get the ball across the box, but Joe was different class of it. But it was funny, there's a wee story with wee Joe. What's he call him? Wee lawyer, Jimmy, I can't remember his name now. One of the lawyers at Celtic, he was there, and God rest him. I think he's with us now, but we were playing Aberdeen, and wee Joe was playing with us, and I caught him talking to Joe, and fuck me, he thought we'd bought Wooly, this director, and I'm listening to him, he's saying, "Do you like playing out there? Do you not prefer playing at the back and all that?" And I'm killing myself. The director thought we signed Willie Miller. It was Joe Miller we signed.
Oh man!
You know, I'm rolling about, and Joe's looking at me, and he's trying to look at the director without laughing, you know. And he's going, "No, I quite like it." So that was it. So then you just didn't
Joe used to stay next door to Marty, actually. Mine is Big Rottweiler. Joe, the big massive Rottweiler. I can't remember what his name was. He used to stay next door to Marty.
Tyson
Aye.
was his name. That's
the one, aye.
Aye.
The big beauty.
Used to scare away some of my girlfriends, aye. It's all planned.
I mean, see that team there, as we say, you come in, your debut's Hibs, one each straw into it, you come in. Obviously, got to ask you the standard question. You've had the Luke McCann moment to come out of Celtic.
Yes.
What's it like? Come on, talk to him. What's it like? What's the feeling for you coming on
Was great.
in October '87 against Hibs?
I wanted to go out with the team and Bully saying no, because I was a supporter. I thought Celtic fans wanted Charlie Nick back, because maybe he was at Aberdeen, he was coming back. And that's what I thought was happening. And the fans, no matter what they say, they loved Charlie when he was playing.
Yeah.
And so it was one of them I thought they wanted. And I'm saying, no, I'm going to be the team, and Bully held me back and then let me go out and moan. And I was like, fucking a wee bit embarrassing. But that's when Jimmy appeared, you know. That's when Jimmy appeared and gave me a cuddle. He just gave me a hug, you know, and said, just go and enjoy yourself, wee man. Wee man, he called me, fuck it hell.
That must have been incredible.
It was incredible for me, you know. It was incredible for me, you know, and just getting, you know, and I'm going to be honest with you, after the first game, the gaffer says, we need to get you fitter. I'm going, what? I said, I've just fucking scored 28 goals in the first division, the Premiership, you know, and he says, yeah, you're not fit enough. And he battered me for 2 weeks. Wow. Gave me extra training and all that. And
take a ball away for you. You were used to playing me at West Ham.
I used to do training and then go and do extra. And it was, and I understood what he said, because up in Scotland, see, down in England, they think they're better than you.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll try and get the ball off you, you know, and then it took me a while to discover they weren't again after me. But it was up here, they know they're not as good. And they just come through you. You know, they try to stop you in any way they can. And
see, even with that,
I'm not saying that.
Sorry, see, even that there, Frankie, you mentioned that. See, even back then, was there still that perception what we get now that Scotland's a farmers' league? That's garbage.
No.
And
everything Celtic and Rangers in England, everything.
Mm-hmm.
They'll go to the pub to watch Celtic and Rangers games. They're not going to watch the Celtic and Aberdeen game. If the cup final Celtic and Aberdeen, they'll not watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's Celtic and Rangers, they'll watch it.
Aye.
You know, that's why I hope that they survive and you know, I always stay in the league, but because it doesn't matter, it's because of it. And I want the fans back. That's fucking, the fans is just, that was incredible. I mean, one of the best games I played, we beat 1-0 at Ibrox and up. It was semi-final of the cup, and they tossed a coin to see where it was played because Hampden was getting sorted, and we had to go to Ibrox, and it was half and half.
Wow. So
you walk out the tunnel and it was half and half. It was just unbelievable. You know, it was incredible sight and incredible noises, you can imagine. You know, in Ibrox, it was unbelievable. And I had a broken bone in my foot, and I was playing with it, and I was getting injections, and I was saying to man, I can't fucking keep doing this, you know. So I was getting local anaesthetic to numb it. It was only lasting an hour. And I got a scan. I got an X-ray and all that. They kept sending me for an X-ray, and I'm going, I need a scan. He's going, no, you're all right. I said, there's something, you know yourself, there's something wrong.
Yeah, when your foot's got a bone.
We got beat with Rangers 1-0. Mick Galloway thought he could outrun Durante read it like a fucking book and scored, and we could beat 1-0. But it was an incredible atmosphere. And I said to him, I'm not playing again until I get this sorted. And I went and got a scan, and I had a broken bone in my foot. You know, it didn't show up in the X-rays.
Yeah.
So I was playing with getting these injections. But I know. But that's what you do. That's what you do. You know, you don't want to lose your place. You know, I would never have wanted to play in a game like that. You know, it was You know, for an hour I gave everything, and then it wore off. And
during that period, it's proven giving it your all, wanting to be part of the team, and you know that first term there was successful. You know, a league and a cup double, yourself, good 15 goals. What that season?
Well, I said to the gaffer, if they get knocked out the League Cup on Wednesday and they sign me on the Friday or something, I said, if you'd have signed me last week, we'd have won the treble. I
like your confidence. I like your confidence. Like, you know, that season as well, like that season, obviously, going to Celtic, living the boyhood dream and all that, League Cup double, Centenary years, perfect in it.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got the 2 goals against Rangers in the January game,
Yes.
January 8, into it, and then you've got the cup final with the two lates, the winner.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm asked you, toss a coin, what one was better? Scoring against Rangers?
Scoring that first goal against Rangers, you always get that. That was not only just, it was me, it was a tap-in, but not a tap-in, but it was 8 yards, but it was...
I'm sure it was a 40-yard bullet in your head.
No, the goal was the pass for Paul McStay. You know, the pass, Paul McStay ran it soonest and just turned and pirouetted and then put Chris Morris through it, split the defence wide open. It was an incredible pass. And he just put it across and I scored. And of course, it ran to the jungle, which was great for me because... to score it was incredible, and that was it. And then we scored, and I scored the second one with a header. It was Grant. It was B. Durant. He was marking me, and I'm going, Durant, are you marking me? he's going, fuck off. And then of course, B. Joe put the ball in. There's no way Durant beat me there, so it was. He was hoping the ball would have come to me.
No, I like what you're saying about the talking, right? And again, I just want to ask you because. We know yourself, and Andy Gorham was here. I know you're quite friendly with Andy and stuff like that. And see us talking to players, obviously it's fierce rivalry, right? Like 90 minutes are just wanting to get into them, whatever you want to call it. But was there actually a lot? Did you have actually quite a lot of friendships, if you will, or hanging about with the Rangers?
That's still my pal. You can't do that. You always see each other we always see each other in the tune. Glasgow's not a big place.
No. Yeah.
I remember John Brown signed. John Brown, I was in Tilly's Junction on Monday night in Paisley, and John Brown signed for Rangers, and he was in. And he came walking in, I sent him a bottle of champagne. A wee note, welcome to the madness.
I like that. It was fucking mad.
And John said, I'll never forget. I'll never forget. No wonder John signed because he fucking upended Soonest when he played them 3 times. And he kept upending Soonest. He says, battered him out of the place. And Soonest says, you can do that to me. I want you to date other people. And that's, but I thought John was a good player. I thought he was a good player. He never got a cap. I can't believe that.
Mm-hmm. Well, there was plenty of good guys in there. And you mentioned one I just want to talk about. I want to talk about Paul McStay. Right? Yeah. Like Paul McStay, for me, growing up, he was one of my earliest Celtic heroes. And I was at that stage where, I'm just about to turn 40, so I'm still quite young. But so for me, going through, probably memories started to become quite strong around about that sort of 92 onwards, where I could really properly remember things. Yeah. And always thought, as you say,
no good thoughts. No good thoughts.
Listen, a good time. I cut again character building to learn your trade.
That's what that mob's going through. I mean, it's fine. We went through all that in the 90s. We went through all that. We had to take so much shit after them. And I'm going, fucking, we're just getting my run back now. But it swings and roundabouts. You've got to put your chin up and fucking take it, ain't you?
And as I say, just to ask you about Paul McStay, just for a
world class
personal one. How good was he? Because I think, see, when we talk about guys come up and you watch podcasts and you watch stories, right? You never really hear much. Paul McStay, I don't think that's the adulation and the chat picking up.
Because he's got loads of the maestro at Celtic, and he was, for me, he was world class. If he'd have went anywhere else, he'd have been up there with Henrik, you know what I mean? As in, because Henrik went and won Barcelona, Man United. Paul could have went to any of them. He would have been up there with Zidane. Honest to God, it was that good. The biggest thing, when we went to the World Cup in '86, Paul was coming through and Fergie made a mistake because Paul would only be one of the greatest players in a Celtic jersey that year. And but that time he wasn't ready we played Uruguay. And I was a wee bit disappointed. And the first time I didn't want Paul McStay to play. I thought Soonest should have played against Uruguay. Because I don't think Paul was ready for that. He was still young, very young. And we needed to win. And he fucking dropped Soonest, the one guy you want to play against Uruguay. And they got a man sent off in the first minute. We'd have went through.
Makes it worse.
As soon as he'd been playing, and I'd never seen that. Paul knows what I think of him. I think he's world class. But he went on to be world class. He wasn't at that time.
Yeah.
He wasn't capable of controlling that game when there's fucking tackles flying in around your neck.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the Uruguayans. And I thought, that one mistake with Fergie, as soon as they'd been playing in that game, we would have been through. And then play Paul, obviously, it was a changing of the guard sort of a thing.
Yeah.
I just didn't think Paul was ready for that one.
Do you think Celtic have
when
had
I played him at Celtic, I mean, you realise how good he is, because he used to just do it. If he gave the ball, if that came short, if he gave me the ball at my feet, that meant the defender was near me.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that, so I could turn and run at him. And if he just used to flick his fingers if I came short, and I used to just come short and just spin, and he'd put it out the top of him. And the guy's not catching me. A wee bit like Kyogo. There's no fucking place. No way they're catching me. They're not catching Kyogo either.
Were you aware, Mr. River, any solid truth, or that there's talk that it was meant to be interest for like the likes of AC Milan and that? Was it genuine?
Juventus, they were all there. Madrid, everyone.
Just wasn't having it.
Wasn't having it. Celtic boy. Oh. And then they never gave him a job when he finished. Can you believe that?
Yeah, that one always baffles me.
He wanted to be the manager of the youth and go so that he can go and imagine Paul McStay and Tommy Burns rocking up to somebody at Celtic's family's house and saying, "Look, we want to sign your boy." It's fucking not it. It's just
sign your fucking house over to them.
Oh, it's one of them, and it's just and it was Martin O'Neill signed somebody else, didn't he? Never gave Paul it, and that was wrong. It was after the sacrifices that Paul McStay made, because he could have went anywhere, and the money. Let me tell you, the money back then wasn't great. So Paul never made his money in Celtic and football. Made it in the testimony, got a few bob for the testimonial, but you're talking back then. Now Paul would have been, up there with a fucking he'd have had his own private jet and all that. That's how good Paul was.
Do you think since then we've ever had another moderns, but another Paul McStay's or somebody? I mean, I always think for me, I'm a big Paul Lambert fan as well. After McStay, it was Lambert for me.
You see what I said to him? He was at St Mirren when I was there, just finishing my career. And he told the story. He says, I would wind him up. I'm saying, do you drink? No. Do you smoke? No. Do you get with a woman? No. I says, you'll never make it, son. I fucking won the Champions League. I'm good.
That was your very old moment, mate. That was your very old moment,
I'd done that to them all. I used to wind them up, our young boys. It was great. When I was at Celtic, we used to love the boys, because I used to give them all money. She Given was my boot boy, right?
Oh, wow.
And we used to give him money. I used to go here. Put that in the kitty for the night. All the youth boys were going out and all that. And I says, me and Granny used to wait till they come in. We said, right, one condition's come in the morning and tell us what happened. And we used to sit in the dressing room, away dressing room with all the young boys. Oh, he puked over a bird and all that. And it was fucking funny. The young guys go out and they just get laddered, didn't they? And puking all over the place. Some of the stories was great, But that was it. The young boys were loving it. Now you walk in, they're cheeky fuckers, the young boys, because they're getting too much money too quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And on that kind of side of things, Frank, you speak about the kind of nights out and like the youth guys going to do it. Obviously, yourself, you were known as a bit of a entertainer, shall we say, and the whole "Where's the Birds" thing. So you were known as a bit of a ladies' man. What was it like? Were you as bad as this is kind of perceived?
Is it totally just parody and hammed up?
Listen, I like it. Don't get me wrong, but if I'd done half the things I'm supposed to have done, fuck it. It wasn't. No, I couldn't have played the way. I've heard all the stories that I was going out on Friday nights and all that, and turning up the following day, but it always ends up with me scoring 2 goals. So I thought, well, that's good story. But it never happened, And there's not one player that I've ever played with through my career has ever complained about me because they knew I'd turned up on the Saturday or I turned up on the Wednesday, whenever it was, and I never let anybody down. And when I'm saying that, it doesn't mean I've always had a good game, played a good game, but I put a shift in.
Yeah.
And boys and the fans love that, because they've seen it. Players now, they want to hide away from the ball. I never had. If you're having a bad game, I never had. And if you're having a bad game, you can still put defenders under pressure.
Yeah.
And it's and put keepers under pressure. especially now when they can't pick the ball up. You know, it was incredible. But I just think I hate seeing lazy players. You know, and that's the first thing that your teammates, you deserve to can run after. You know, help your teammates out. People, I think there's a lot of team. I see it in Brendan now. He's getting them all fine for each other.
There's been some turnaround, isn't there?
I just think in football in general, there's so much. I'm all right, Jack. You know, and I see them all walking in. And I was talking to Lenny. This is the truth. I was talking to Lenny. We're playing golf, and I was talking to Lenny. I'm saying, he says, Frank, you've got to remember, the money's that good now. You walk into the dressing room, they're on their emails and phones because there's 15 CEOs in the dressing room.
No,
a
player's a bit of a brand of their own now, aren't they?
I was like, what? But I wouldn't let anybody in the dressing room with a phone. You know, you leave it at the door. You're a footballer now. And if you don't like that, then you can fuck. That's what I'd be saying to them, because you wrap them in cotton wool now. You can't walk about with phones in it. And, you know, do me a favour, just go into the train. No walk about with earphones. They don't talk to each other. And I hate people walking by. And listen, Celtic boys do it as well. Some of them walking by fans. I fucking hate that. When they're walking in, the wee boys and all that, wee girls, go on, fucking say hello to them.
Yeah.
You know, because I knew what it meant to me.
Yeah.
When I was growing up.
Yeah.
Dalglish was my idol. I was in tears when he left in '77. Now my pal, but it's, I mean, it shows you how things can turn round. But you know, I was in tears, and I met Kenny, and it was having a laugh and all that. And I'm like, you know, that I knew what that meant to me.
Yeah,
yeah,
100%. I mean, we spoke to guys like Diddy Agat, we had Diddy on here, and he was mentioning about the team that Martin O'Neill had built there, and about the way the dressing room was there. And he had said like they were all pals, and they all went out with each other, they socialised with each other, and things like that. Yeah. I'm looking at the current Celtic squad.
No chance.
I don't really think I could picture any of them actually out socialising together. Do you know that?
My manager, Big Bully, used to tell us that once a month we used to get, you know, we used to go for a meal somewhere.
Yeah.
And they're not talking about getting out and getting boozed up and all that, but some of the boys like me and some other boys used to go after it.
Yeah.
But even the married boys had to come, and if they want to come out, they go out. If they want to get him, they get him. But they come for the meal and we'll have a few drinks. And it's amazing how much you can get talkative when you've got a couple of wine in you. And then of course Tommy would take over and start fucking singing. That was it.
Mac a knife, here we go.
But he used to start singing in restaurants. It cost us a fortune. We had to pay for everyone's meal. He's giving all that, and he wouldn't let anybody join in.
Aye, fucking brilliant. Icon. I've actually been there when he sung it one night as well, which was...
He's right good, but he is. He's genuinely good, by the way.
I miss him. I do miss him. He's I know Granny misses him as well. Granny was...
Yeah, Granny and him were like that, weren't they? They were the ones that were...
I miss the gaffer. I really do miss Billy. It was... We had some laughs, you know, when he was no well, and he was at the game with Liz, and he's and he said to me, McCann, I'm going, fucking hell, I didn't think you'd remember anyone. And Liz is like, I'll never forget you, son. The police couldn't believe it. They're going, you still call him Gaffer? I'm like, oh, he'll always be my Gaffer.
And that, I mean, you're saying that you missed him, Frankie. Us as fans, we missed them. We've got that thing. I mean, I was privileged. I've met Tommy, I've met Billy, and I mean, these guys, they're fucking icons. They're heroes of your game.
Well, that's what I mean, Brad. What do you think I felt like when I signed? Didn't they all a bit?
Yeah,
Nearly mocking, no giving people boots. It was brilliant. But Nearly was great. Used to think everything was his. Young boys used to come in and say to me, like,
it was a bit of a magpie, was, you know, bit of quartermaster.
Wait, this is what he done. Young boys used to come and go out. Nearly, I need a pair of boots. And he used to call it bits. Bits, where it came from, bits. We never had bits when we won that big trophy. No, I used to wind all the young boys up. I go, what's the size of it? 8 or something. Get the ladders and got to this fucking cupboard. I go, we into the back, and fucking boots, it's not even getting made now. And he'd bring them out. Try them on. Oh, they're a wee bit big. Put 2 socks on there.
2 pairs of socks. Imagine turning and saying to a mod a football now. 2 socks, mate.
But that was Gareth's character. I mean, you didn't get... Even at West Ham, you know, the young boys couldn't go into the first team dressing room when they had to go and pick up the strips. No, they had to open the door. They knock the door because you've got to earn respect to get in that dressing room.
Aye.
Now they just walk in, they fucking slag off the first team players. Wow, really? I just thought there's wee things that could, for the past, it could still be using the future. A bit of respect to get in that dressing room and a bit, I just think it's a wee bit. They've lost. There's too much money in the game now. I think it's a wee bit.
You'd mentioned obviously Billy,
Yeah.
The respect of her be your gaffer, but just to finish, a wee sort of bookend your first period before you came back to second period Celtic, but the second seasons, didn't quite happen. We're finishing third. A lukewarmish season for yourself. You had the injury with the broken arm, and as word goes, you left and departed, obviously go back to West Ham. Apparently, there was some sort of disagreement with Billy. Is that fact?
No, nothing to do with Billy. Nothing to do with Billy. It was the board never paid me.
Aye.
The board never paid me, and it was just simple as that. And Billy couldn't do anything. It was one of them. As soon as we won the double, when I came back for pre-season, we went away and I came back and the board told me I wasn't getting that.
Mm-hmm.
So we won the double and that was him happy.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. 11 goals. I think he scored by the end of the year that season with the 88-89. We're sitting all right. We finished on third, but we're sitting there good. And then you get down to, you can't ask for more than that. You end up going back down to West Ham. Obviously, that would have been an easy choice. But again,
it wasn't an easy choice because Arsenal come in for me.
That's what I was going to say. Likewise with the situation, we've been approached by Rangers.
Aye.
Your rivals as a fan, you get asked to go to Arsenal.
I asked to go to Millwall as well. Believe that or not?
So
Mick McCarthy was the manager of Millwall, and he says, "I think I know the answer, but would you come to Millwall?" I said, "Fuck no, no chance."
Were they basically Rangers for you? Were they like the English Rangers?
I couldn't go to that team in London. West Ham fans loved us, and I couldn't do that to them. I just couldn't. And I knew they were getting relegated, and I thought, after what Celtic done to me, I'm going to be honest with you, I was gutted. I was so destroying, and it was horrible. And I just wanted to go somewhere that I was loved and didn't have to prove myself, and just go somewhere that, and then play my football and enjoy myself, and then I got injured the first game of the season, which fucking put me out a year. Well, it didn't put me out a year. Louis McCarry put me out in a few months. It was he gave me a road run fucking Christmas Day and sent me back in 3 months. So it was hard. It was hard getting back into the team and all that for us. It was a hard time for us. But hey, I've fucking done something that I loved, and I've won trophies and played in the World Cup. So I'm not complaining about nothing like that.
No. I mean, that's the thing. It says you're well loved at West Ham. So going back off the back of what happened at Celtic, you get down there and things, as you say, it's a bit of a slow start, but you're going to be down there, going to be welcome, and you're going to enjoy it. Back to enjoying yourself, picking yourself back up. But as we know, you work your way back to Celtic, and you come for going at a time where obviously it been Centenary and winning, and it been really positive to coming back to, as you've said at the start there.
Well,
quite torrid time for Celtic in the 93s.
Well, I came back to sign for Partick Thistle. I was in Hong Kong and I came back to sign for Partick Thistle.
John Lambie won it at the time.
Aye. And I came back. That was, he says Thistle one year, and I said to the guy in Hong Kong, want to try it, but he's never met anything.
See on that, you just mentioned that. Sorry, just to cut you off here, Mackie. You just mentioned that. What was the deal with the China experiment going over there for one game? What happened?
No, I never went there for one game. That was Cliftonville. I played one game. That was only Cliftonville. I played one game, a semi-final for Cliftonville. Signed for a month and get released the following day. That was all because I was going to Hong Kong on the Friday.
So what was the deal with the going over to Hong Kong? What was the deal with the experiment?
I signed 2 months, right? And I said, I'll figure out in 2 months if I'm going to stay or not. But to be honest with you, the football was shit. It was terrible. And I was, and they don't blame having a drink for a bad performance, which wasn't good for me.
I heard it good. The nightclubs were all shite.
No, the nightclubs were brilliant, fucking unbelievable. It was still part of you.
What was the money like back then?
It was good. It was I don't know, $5,000 or something I was getting, which is no bad.
You've got guys that would go to China. Obviously, that's kind of fallen away a bit. But you had, obviously, I think it was no Oscar, Brazilian boy. He went. He's wrapped up. He'd done 8 years in China making a packet. But were they chucking decent money at the time then?
$5,000 a week, which is no bad. It was fucking. and an apartment and all that kind of stuff. But he'd play golf and all that. It was good. I went out there and it was great. That's just for the holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it was one of them. The deal was I'd an open business class return.
Aye.
So that I could leave anytime I wanted. Because I said, look, I've never been to Hong Kong. If I fucking don't like it, I'm out of there.
Yeah.
So, and it was fine. It was good. I went over there and I said to the guy's never met anybody with me, guys. It was opening a driving range and he was there with his minders and all that, and I'm pissed. And the guy says he's got he owns all these horses. I says, really? So I went down and fucking sat in his knee then and we fucking said they're all minders when he happy.
Oh my.
And he's like, no, it's all right. He's come on me, man, I heard you've got horses. He's like, he gave me 4 horses, 3 won, 1 get beaten, a 4 finish. So I was like, brilliant. So I got on well with him, as you can imagine. And I said to him, this is not, the standards, you know, not good enough for me. I need to go. And he says, will you go now? And I'd still 2 or 3 weeks left.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, look, no, I'm enjoying myself. And he says, no, go now. And he gave me fucking some like 18 grand cash or something to leave. I says, right, see you later. Because I hadn't paid £200 phone bill, the club never released my registration. The guy would have done it. The owner would have done it, but he'd none to do with that. It was a club, you know, obviously different departments look after all that. And when I come back to sign for Thistle, they says, we can't sign you, but we'll do the 40s. And I was on the centre circle. Honest to God, I was on the centre circle. 30 photographers or something, BBC, ITV, STV, they were all there. And I've got a Thistle tap on with a scarf and all that. And Liam Brady phoned my agent, one of the big phones, went, hello, Dom Jollyhings. And he's says, Frank, Liam wants you in it. And I said, tell Chapel, because I played one with West Ham. I said, tell him I'll phone him. She says, he wants to speak to you now. I thought he wanted a number or something, you know, and he says, do you want to come back to Celtic? I was like, and I'm whispering, and he's going, what are you whispering for? I says, I've got 30 photographers behind me and I'm standing in the centre circle.
How did that conversation go?
He busted out laughing. He says, you've definitely no signed? I says, no. He says, you want to come back? He says, aye. He says, right, I'll see you at Celtic Park in an hour. I says, right, okay.
How did that get in with John Lambie? Because top characters in the game, another man.
He paid Hong Kong the £200 for the phone bill. It's £180 or something. He paid that. Because see, like now you can pick up the phone, can't you, and transfer it? Couldn't you do that then? Had to bank transfer it or wire transfer it or whatever you call it. So it was all done, so I couldn't sign to the following day. That night on the news, it was all the news that I'd signed for Celtic, so he wasn't too happy. Fuck. And of course, then we went to Celtic, but we went to Firhill to play them. At Christmas time, and it was brilliant. The announcer was saying, we want to wish everyone, except Frank McAvennie, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. No.
That's the bit. Did you score that day?
I did. We beat them 1-0. I scored.
Oh, man.
I took a penalty as well. I don't even take penalties, but I get pulled down for a penalty. And Stuart Slater says, oh, cheers, Mike. I says, no, the day, son. Because I was getting dogs abuse off him. I couldn't stop laughing. Liam was shouting at me. I couldn't stop laughing. I've just smashed the top corner. So,
see me, obviously, as I said, I wouldn't have liked to have told John Lambie that I was reneging on a deal. I can imagine that one, but I'm sure you really like
they were thinking talk about me, but it's not going to happen.
No, but you know, you come back. Says obviously we touched on it. At that time, to put it lightly, it was a rough time on it for us, on sort of behind the scenes and everything else. But on the pitch, I know with a good amount of talent. I mean, look at some of the guys on that team you mentioned. Also with Charlie Nick there as well. John Collins, another player I think gets undersold.
Well, Lou McCarry come in. He shouldn't have come in. He shouldn't have. He was hopeless with me at West Ham, so he wasn't very good at Celtic with me.
Yeah,
he's a wee dick, to be honest with you. He took Chick Charlie down to play Ryan Giggs' testimonial and left me him. You know, and Chick playing with Thistle.
Aye.
I'm like, what the fuck? And you know, it's funny. He was saying, nah, you're not going. I'm bringing somebody else in. And he took Chick. Chick's my pal.
What was missing?
I thought he was going to. If he'd have signed him, fine, you know, but he never signed him.
See, for you, Frankie, what was. I know we were on shit street, to be honest.
Yeah,
at that point, but what was missing Because on the pitch, he says, look at some of the guys, obviously, you, still McStay, Bonner, Grant. So says another guy gets undersold.
John Collins.
McGinley, fantastic. Burns, John Collins, Boyd, Collins, Vata, Charlie, Nick, you. There was a solid body of a team.
Aye. We no direction, no nothing, really.
What was the change like going between, obviously,
Brady
at first and McCarry?
He said to me, when I came back, he said to me, nobody was challenging goalkeepers, nobody was challenging centre-halves and all that. Because Charlie doesn't do that. And, I can't remember who it was. Was it Tommy Coyne? And he didn't like all that either. So I didn't mind having a scrap with him. It was all right with me. So that's why the boy used to come across and the keeper used to come out and join, and nobody hit him. And that's what was missing. You had a goalkeeper that's not going to come out again. And that's the way I thought. So I used to get away with it all the time. So it was, and that's why he said, look, I just want a figurehead up front, and I said, no problem. And I was getting myself fit, but then he came to me and says, we need you to play in a cup tie the night at Airdrie, and it was fucking torrential rain. Honestly, and I'm going, I'm not fit enough for this. He says, give me an hour. And I says, right, okay. And so I started, and it was at Airdrie, and it was good. He caught a header for shirts later, and I hit the bar, came down and stuck in the water, and Tommy put it over the line. It was great. We beat him 1-0, but it was horrible. But that was my welcome back, it was good to come back. And Airdrie's always been good for me because I scored my first 2 goals for St Mirren there, and scored and, helped at Celtic. But we're in the dressing room, and Liam's fucking talking with his boards. He's got the boards up, and he's talking. I thought we were playing at Real Madrid.
Aye.
I'm going, what the fuck? I said, it's fucking Airdrie. No disrespect to Airdrie, but if we can't go and beat them with this team, none of the boys are sitting around, they're going to shame themselves. So I said, and that was me in the fucking bad books again, because I said, what the fuck? It's just go out and beat them. It's fucking Airdrie. There was too much fucking filling people's head full of shit about he might do this. But look, we're better than him.
So do you think some of your feelings performance-wise at that time were rudderless and clueless for the management standpoint, or see some of the off-the-field stuff?
I liked Liam and Joe and all that, but it's just, and then McCarry came and that was it fucked because he's not got, McCarry's just, he was never there. He was always his crew that was there.
Aye.
Louis liked to be gamble and all that, but listen, that's every man himself. But he used to go and play pre-season. He used to go to away games and play a game where there's a fucking racetrack. It was one name, but listen, that's what it is. It just wasn't the same when I came back. But we used to go and, this is what McCarry done. We Lou, and I didn't like this with you, Lou. And I'll tell him his face. I don't mind it. Frank Connor took us when Liam gets sick. Frank Connor took us for training. And we were playing Rangers at Ibrox. And Frank Connor done everything for us. And Frank was brilliant. Big set, man. Brilliant. He didn't suffer fools. But he got us, working all week, midfield, working for playing against Rangers. We're working, making sure shifting across and making sure we're covering everything. Strikers did this, and it was all done. Big Frank worked and everything. McCarry signed on the Thursday, and he says, look, I'm not taking the team because Frank's done this. Because he thought we were going to get beaten the Saturday at Ibrox.
Right.
Yeah.
He says, I'm taking over. He says, I'll take over after the game, boys. He says, we'll start afresh. We beat Rangers 2-1, and then Lou McCarry took the press conference. You fucking believe that?
Oh, man. Obviously, aside from that, you had the off-the-field stuff.
Aye.
Did that really affect you on the pitch? Do you think that really contributed to the way we played it out?
I think there was a lot in it. I think there was a lot of boys that was concerned about going to fucking Rutherglen or whatever it was, Cambuslang, and build a new stadium. And it felt as though we were going backwards. Mm-hmm. I just don't see. I don't see how you can leave Celtic Park. Build it up. And knock the school down. Do what you, because the school was yours anyway. The car park used to have a car park and all that. And there's so much we could have done there, but they didn't want to spend any money. I think the council was going to give them the new stadium or something like that. And it was just penny pinching thinking. And it did affect the boys, It did, of course it did. But it was what it was. But I just thought we'd enough players in that dressing room. We should have done better. But to be fair, Rangers were a decent team.
Aye.
But we used to go there and beat them, and we just kept getting let down. And I thought the managers were playing different teams. I mean, one time they played, I think it was Andy Payton and Tommy Coyne or something they played, and good players, two of them, but they get battered. We get beat with Falkirk. I can't remember if it was in the league, and then we had to play them in the cup, or it was we get beat in the cup and we had to play them in the league in the same week. And they two got injured, and they had to play me, whatever game it was, they had to play me and Charlie. And me and him was mates. What a laugh we had, and we beat them 4-1 or something, and I get one, Charlie get two. Charlie's Megan, people know that, and we're just having a laugh. Absolute, as if we're out in the park playing. And I'm thinking, that's what football's all about, And I was telling you a wee story about when I was playing with Lenny. There's a word that fucking nobody uses now. Entertainment.
Yeah.
But it's not a footballers, coaches don't use that now. And I'm going, 60,000 fans at Celtic Park weren't entertained. I couldn't give a monkeys that they're off fans and all this bullshit just want to win. No, they don't. They want to play a certain way. They want Celtic's a club that couldn't play the way Rangers play, as in defending, getting a 1-0 result. They couldn't do that. And I just don't get why you wouldn't want to entertain. I used to think it was Modens. I thought, fuck me, I'm going to entertain this mob. And it was great. And I used to do it. But all the boys used to be the same thing, because you won a certain way, boys, It wasn't just winning. You like to win in a certain way. And
attractive football. Yeah.
Always been known as the Cavaliers, And Billy used to say it. Billy said, they score 3, we'll score 4. Because we never had the best defence in the world, Big Mick came in the first time, and that was, he was fucking, when he wasn't suspended, he was brilliant. Big Mick and Roy or Whitey or whoever it was, but even Lex Bailey come in and done brilliant, at that time. So they made the decent defenders, and I mean, Chris Morris and Anton Rogan, one of the best defenders and players in the world. But see, going forward, their engines was unbelievable.
Yeah,
they were up and down that park, so we could play with 3 at the back, but they 2 bombing forward. So for getting defending, it was 5, and that's when we used to do it. But they were unbelievable engines, and people say they're all fitter now. Are they? Hell, not a chance. There was not a team in any league, even now, that was fitter than the boys in the Centenary. Not a chance.
Well, entertaining football. You're an entertainer yourself, and obviously Celtic in this. So far this season are carrying that on. So he finishes up.
Continue.
He finishes up. You positive for the remainder of the season? Is there a treble on? Are we going to get into that knockout stages of Champions League?
If Celtic want the treble, it's theirs for the taking. If the only team that's going to beat us is us. If we let ourselves down, as Brendan says, that was a big week, 6 against Aberdeen, and then Barton at Celtic Park, and then going and playing that game at the weekend. It's a fucking dodgy plastic pitch.
Yeah,
we could have got turned over last year. We did get turned over there last year, but that could have been the wrong result for us because we won already. After that week, that's a big win. Psychologically, it takes a lot out of you.
No,
what I mean? The everything about it, the emotions and everything. That and Wednesday night, I know what it meant to me, and it's hairs in the back of my neck was standing up. So, I can imagine what it was like for the players. When that noise goes up and the Champions League music starts, it's incredible at Celtic Park. There's no place like it. Yeah. But it used to be the same when we played in the European Cup. It was, it used to be the same, and the noise just didn't get that music.
Well, but we're getting an international break to work our way through. But we'll be back, and then it's going to be Club Bruges. You going to be there? You going to take
I'll
that,
be
man?
there, yes. I'm going with Mr. Rodney. Yes, sure. Oh, sure. I'm going with him. So
champagne evening, then, is it?
Bracing myself because I'm going away on holiday 2 days later. I might make it.
Oh, well, listen, Frankie.
If I'm home in time, I'll go on holiday.
Just want to thank you for taking time on Hing as well, just on yourself. Obviously, thanks for taking time to join us in our podcast, but you've got your own podcast.
You have, yes.
What's happening there? If you get any episodes that are coming up or that?
Brilliant. We've got loads of episodes. We've got Rod coming on. We've got Aidan McGeady. We've got John Higgins for the snooker, and we've got Pat Evans coming up. They're all I want to do. I'm just going through my book. I'm just going through my book and asking them to come on. And it's best, listen, we've had all the Celtic boys and it's been great. Absolutely. With Ray Winston. We've had Ray Winston and all my pals. So I've had them all. They're all talking about it and it's brilliant, boys. I just love it. I love podcast. I love talking.
You enjoying that, obviously, now?
I'm doing it now. It's
reaching
great,
out to other folk and connecting with younger fans and audience and that. Enjoying it?
Well, it's great because you guys have got a Celtic podcast, and I'm thinking I just want to go and talk to people. You know, I just want to talk to people about. Obviously, there's a connection. With Bianca Westwood on the other day there. You know, it's a big, massive trailblaze the ladies down there, and she knew more about football than most punters, and she was great. She was brilliant, and it's all connection with West Ham and then connection with Celtic, and I had a couple of Rangers boys on, had Bomber on, had Haley on, had Derek Ferguson, so it's no, you know, I try and keep it. I'm not keeping
Where can we get that if we want to watch it? YouTube, Spotify, usuals?
Everything. Get it on everywhere. YouTube. I call it TikTok. I call it TikTok. It's TikTok, isn't it? So
that's Paddy's bag. I don't know about it.
Let Me Be Frank. It's called Let Me Be Frank, and get it on all usual. And it really is. It's been, you know, as I say, we've got some good ones coming up.
There's been a few crackers.
And we Martin Compton, that was brilliant, right? We're on and just having a laugh. It's just me sitting talking to my pals like you two, and it's just having a laugh.
Yeah.
So
I seen the one you done with Bruni as well, and that was brilliant. There was some good crack in there. Obviously starting taking a rip him at the start and that. And do you know what, mate? It's refreshing. It's good to see that as well, and it's good to. I'm not a fan of podcasts, although I'm on here. I don't really watch a lot of them.
Bruni doesn't do it, but he's never done a podcast before. He's never done one.
Yeah.
But watching and Lenny as well. Lenny was on.
Well, it's good. You're a character. You're a chatter. You're an entertainer, and it's good to have you gain it more of that on the podcast. So listen, just once again, I know you got a busy day, golf, whatever it may well be. Don't want to keep you. He's come on here by his own free admission. He's not been held captive. So thanks for taking the time. Thank you.
Good
it's
luck
been great. It's great speaking to you. I'm sure we can do this again at some point.
Anytime, boys. Give me a shout.
Thank you very much for taking the time out your day. It's now gone 12 o'clock. We're nearly an hour and 15, so thank you very much. So we'll catch up with you. We'll be back as usual with more content throughout the course of the week. We'll get this international break out of the way. So until the next time, as always, take care of yourself and we say hail, hail.